How do you maintain this culture at that level consistently?
Well, I think one of the big things is realizing that it's a living, breathing organism. And I think one of the biggest things for it is to understand that the vibe can't be the same all the time. It's got to be chosen. It's got to be deliberate. And sometimes it's going to be productive. Sometimes it's going to be fun. Sometimes it's going to be loving. Sometimes it's going to be, but let your team choose the vibe, because you can have an overarching culture of, this is ultimately what we want to do. This is our vision, but then allow the people to grow the business, right? And for them to say today, honestly, I want the emphasis to be fun. Like when we had we had salons all over the country. What we did is every day we had a powwow. We started off the day with a powwow. Everyone got together. And when they got together, one person led the powwow, and then they got to choose the vibe for today. Today, I want it to be fun. And they got to choose the music. And so that was a vibe manipulator that created a different type of feel. And that person owned the business in their mind for the day. So that way, what started to happen is, there's a difference between owning and renting a culture. And most of the people out there that are listening, you're feeling me, where you work with a company and you rent the culture, meaning that if you knock a hole in the wall in your apartment and you rent it, you don't fix it. You just put a plant in front of it. If you knock a hole in the wall of a house that you just built, you will fix that bad boy. You'll call in a contractor. You'll make sure that it's perfect. When I was hanging the pictures of my in my house in Park City, as I was hanging them, I was nervous because I was drilling holes in the wall, Mark and Tristan. But when I was renting stuff, I didn't give a damn. So getting people to own the culture, they have to be a part of it and they have to contribute to it. But understand and know that it's a living, breathing organism. It's not a set of rules. The rules in your organization are nothing more than a list of your screw ups. And when you give people that, then they have the freedom to innovate and come to you and bring their best self. And now they're free and they're bringing ideas. And you know what we say is, if it works, we write it down, we systemize it. If it sucks, we simply stop doing it. But we write it down so we don't do it again.
Dude, that was really good. You know what I got from that is the term vibe manipulator. What the hell, dude? I love that. I never heard of that before. What? Tell me where that came from, because you used the word or the phrase intently. Tell me about that.
Yes. Well, the manipulated was always negative, right? So when you think of, I'm manipulating this, I'm manipulating that, but there's ways to manipulate your vibe in the morning. Like yesterday, I jumped in the ocean. It was cold. It woke me up, right? So I wanted to be alive yesterday, so I jumped in the ocean. I'm not suggesting this, especially on the Central Coast, because it'd be super cold. But what it did is it manipulated my vibe. In the morning, what I wanted to do is I wanted to read. I read yesterday, and then I wrote a letter to my wife, and I wrote a letter to my daughter, which I do every single day, which that is a vibe manipulator for me, right? So it sets me off on a way. Now, be careful not to make your rituals your religion, right? Because most companies say, this is our culture, so you have to do all these things. Well, allow the people inside the principles to move the way that they need to, because then it becomes ownership. And I'll tell you like this, what we did is we built a multi-million-dollar company on this. Show up on time, wear black, smile, empty out the dustpan. As long as it was in line with those four things, you were good.